Carl in Washington. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I got a comment. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I got a comment, and then I got something I got to tell you.
Go ahead.
First comment. I don't understand what things as they're going. Almost any dummy can see what's going on, but I don't understand why, I'll say, the Tea Party, some of the conservative Republicans, we're going to lose it all, and there's nothing to stick around for if this happens. Why don't these guys become more vocal and active? I don't understand.
I'll tell you why, because a bunch of lawyers came on the scene and they taught people how to compromise. The problem is, though, we always compromise, the political system doesn't, and the globalists want authoritarianism now. They don't want prosperity, even though it creates incredible wealth. They want control. And the decision has been made to end this country and turn us into a third world nation, because the elite have put the police state in place so they can live in big armored compounds. And I guess the rest of us just are out here outside of it. It's a very evil, short-sighted outlook, but it's the way that every major empire has gone. And we don't have to repeat history because it's a modern age. Things are more compressed now. Things happen quicker. So that means bad things can be worse, but they can also be better. There's a lot of wild cards involved. And, I mean, really, at the end of the day, the people running things are deviants. And by deviant, I don't mean the way the church teaches, establishment church. If you like good-looking women, you're a deviant. No, I mean, no, deviant is creating derivatives that screw the next generation and cheat everybody and destroy the economy. Deviance is creating GMO that sterilizes all the rats that eat it and feeding it to humans. I mean, there's things on an order of scale that are billions of times more evil than what we're taught. Not opening the door for a girl, that's evil. But, creating, all these weapons isn't. So, I mean, you're asking me the question, what do you think? Because you're right. I mean, we're at the end of an age, basically, at the bottom of a cycle. And I think it's because a lot of the people that have money are so compartmentalized in their wealth that they don't see the effects of what they're doing. And they have such disdain for their fellow man and woman, they kind of like seeing people in bad straits. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. I think it's just part of evil growing. What do you think?
Well, I'm positive about the evil, but I just don't know how people can separate themselves from or exclude themselves from what's happening, because unless you're part of the elite, you're going down with everybody else. So I don't understand that part of it.
Well, you just hit the nail on the head. If you've studied history, elites never get out of what they're setting up right now. And they tend to think with all the high-tech gadgetry and over-the-horizon predictive systems that they're going to get out of something. But if you get to the higher level elites, they go, oh, no, it's going to be a giant, disastrous black nightmare. And that's what we're looking for. To them, it's more of the adventure of the attempted takeover and to dominate good. When you realize it's a death battle by evil against good, then it all makes sense. But it's not just choose good or evil. You've got to choose the right good. You see, that's the deception, is that it's hard to find the real thing and not the counterfeit. But it's a good question. I appreciate you, Carl. And, hey, just be glad you care. Be glad that you're even involved and want to fix it. Most people don't even know there's a big war going on. There's a war on, folks, for your mind, for your heart, for your soul, for your seed. Did you know it was happening? This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com. Time Magazine celebrates 42% of millennials, that's people I guess under 30, say they're socialist. Only 16% know what that means. We're getting into bizarre Homeland Security. Feds swarm small town in bizarre unannounced show of force. That story's up on drudgereport.com from Infowars.com. Ukraine launches air offensive, kills 1,000 rebels. This is a major war. Israel launches ground operation in Gaza. Former head of Al-Qaeda says it's all run by the CIA. That's all coming up. Indiana stores babies' DNA. They've been doing it secretly without parental consent since 1991, lawsuit shows by RT. No, it's been going on for 42 years globally in every Western country. I got the secret documents in 1997 on record, and I've been telling you that since 1997. They take everything they want. They do what they want. They secretly test on you when they want. Grow up, learn about eugenicists, learn about the technocracy, learn about the scientific dictatorship, stop living like children that only care about football and the World Cup. Germany is 1 versus Argentina right now. It's absolutely key information. Let's go to your phone calls. Karen in Arizona, thank you for calling on this Sunday edition. You're on the air.
Thank you for taking my call. I got just 2 things to mention, and then I'll hang up. I get an email from Allie Pack of William Gaines.
Yeah, we need to get the head of Allie Pack on this week. Go ahead.
Okay. On July 15th through the 17th, they're going to bring a bunch of illegals in Oracle, Arizona. So they're calling up people to go to Oracle, Arizona on the 15th. And also, I think it was on your program, I remember listening to YouTube of Catherine Wissmann from Austria. And she went with Ronald Reagan in 1985 and she was dressed up like a hippie. And she saw this beragged people in the background, and they said they're from Mexico, and they plan on taking all the portion of Arizona, you name it, and hand it back
ma'am,
to
that's
Mexico.
called Aztlan or Aztlan, and that's Texas to California, Colorado, you name it. It's part of a mythical, racially based state. Like if the Klan declared they control the Southwest, we're going to break it away. But that wouldn't happen because the Klan are a bunch of toothless idiots. The Mecha group is funded by the Ford Foundation. It's openly funded by Bill and Melinda Gates. That was in the news on Friday. The big elite plan on breaking this country up. It's all part of the North American Union. So good points. I appreciate your call. Frank in North Carolina, you're on the air.
Yeah, what the hell is going on? I've been trying to reach you on the telephone, and don't give me none of that fancy
This is a
stuff.
good prank call. I appreciate your call, Frank. I can tell a prank call a mile away. Andrew in Pennsylvania, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, this whole thing about illegal immigration brings up a very important question involving basic human rights, and that is, when does the right to liberty, right to locomotion, right to travel give someone the right to cross borders without any sort of government permission or paperwork filing?
Well, look, here's the deal. I'm a libertarian, but I'm not a suicidal libertarian. It takes a process. You can't have failed Latin America, 700 million people, failed Mexico, 130,000 dead the last 7 years, coming here to be signed up by the Democratic Party with voter ID cards and free welfare and bypass everything. And as a citizen, they want to stick my hands down the pants, put me in a naked body scanner, and not let me in the country. So we have to have nations as long, I mean, we're not bordering Switzerland. We're not bordering Luxembourg. We're not bordering a successful system. And so the political class is suspending laws and bringing in political, I mean, I had a major top global professor, UC professor, immigration influx is about re-education of society. That's Professor Hamamoto, warns amnesty will lead to creation of subservient underclass. He's part of was part of the Rockefeller Foundation. He's the head of Asian Studies at UC Davis, saying what I'm saying. This is not my opinion. So, you know, can I go to Mexico and have a baby for free at their hospital? Can I immigrate to Mexico? No. So you can't have open borders as long as there's a welfare class. You understand that?
Yeah, I do, and I fully understand the government conspiracy behind it.
Yeah, no, it's not even a conspiracy. It is a public plan to legalize all these illegals and bankrupt the country.
Yeah, it is. Cloward and Piven, as you talk about.
Andrew, anything else from Pennsylvania? How many millions do you think will be showing up a month versus hundreds of thousands a week if this continues? I mean, they have dozens of trains a day with illegals loaded on them on the top, bottom, and inside, paying the Mexican government to roll in. It's in the news today. Mexico, Guatemala, fast-track delivery of illegals to U.S. in a deal. WorldNet Daily.
Well, I don't want to be saying they took my job, and I don't think the rest of the American people do either.
I hear you, man. And it's not even against these poor immigrants. They're just being used as cannon fodder. But, I mean, it's the end, folks. And all you people that think this is funny, you're going to be laughing real hard as this gets worse. Joe in Atlanta, Georgia. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Howdy, Alex. Thanks for having me on. I got 2 quick points. First, I'd like to say on the World Cup, you know, sports, video games, movies, all these things are just distractions. Granted, they can be experiences that enrich our lives, but...
No. You can get into any of them and get your life enriched. Exactly. It's just when your house is burning down, you better deal with that first. Go ahead.
I got a saying for that. When your house is on fire, you don't sit there and read a book. Put the damn book down and deal with what you got to do, and that's your burning house.
Yeah, I mean, a Hemingway book is great, but if my house is on fire, I'm not going to sit there and finish the book.
I agree. And secondly, I'd like to say as far as the open borders go, you know, I feel for these people. They are coming from what we would consider a hellish nightmare, you know, compared to how we live. But obviously, these people have done nothing to stop their much more openly tyrannical governments from doing what they will. So how are they going to come here and help us when ours is a little more tricksy about the methods they're using to get away with what
exactly. Remember, they take thousands of houses a week, the IRS does, with trumped-up garbage, no real courts, no due process. Total mafia. They take the diamond rings off grandmother's fingers and then go, well, you didn't pay your fair share. Who has sympathy for the Americans? Black, white, Hispanic, I don't care. Who has sympathy for us? No, this is a cold-blooded political takeover, just opening our borders for the North American Union. General Petraeus and Pelosi have both said it. Let's talk to Randy in Oklahoma. Thanks, Joe. Randy, you're on the air. You got a minute 15.
Here,
I can't hear you. Go ahead.
Ballot here in a primary in northern Oklahoma, Republican primary. The winning candidate he was a country Republican with 64% of the vote.
Oh, yeah, they're happy. They've all got their legs spread wide as they can get it for the New World Order. They just want to get a little something right now. They could care less about having a future. They're called traitors.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. I watched the dominant elite here in the local party, you know, side up with a 28-year-old kid who had no background, no activism in politics, against a Marine veteran. I'm an intelligence officer, so...
But he knew how to get on his knees to the New World Order, though, right?
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com.
Judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com.
Briefly, earlier I said that I would break down the key point of today's broadcast, and it's this. What do you think is coming if the establishment's preparing for martial law, civil emergency, gun confiscation, you name it? And I've been telling you about that for a long time. Now it's in the news. Just type into the search engine, Pentagon prepares for national collapse, civil unrest, says their enemy's the Tea Party. That's because the Tea Party is the only opposition to this takeover. You've got big hedge funds and big banks that are trying to shut down all their competition, don't want to compare them to local banks, who openly have created 1,500 plus trillion in fake money. And they want government to enforce the value of that money at our expense. So understand, this is all on record. It's not like I'm up here giving you my opinion, even though it sounds crazy. The establishment is crazy, not me. I've gone a little crazy knowing about it for so long. I mean, it's just, when you know this stuff, it's all on record, and it's very frustrating. When you love a country, family's been here for 400 years before it was even a country. You've been to the rest of the world. You know it's not that good as well. And you see America falling apart. And you see us being merged with Latin America, for God's sakes. It's very frustrating. Randy in Oklahoma, finishing up your point about seeing the Republican establishment run a snot-nosed, greenhorn establishment person against you, and I guess won. They're trying to kill patriots running for office, but you took action, you educated people, that's what mattered. What's your closing comments?
Well, right, and we're going to continue with what the solution I proposed. I said this to David Knight, by the way, that electoral politics are not enough. And I said my solution would require that I needed to have a common law grand jury in 3 counties in order for me to serve if I was going to do it effectively. And
I remember your phone call one time when I was gone. David Knight was sitting in, and you talked about how a real state rep or a congressman would work and empower the grand juries in tandem to go after the criminals.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm posting a website on my campaign website. If I could plug it, it's Randy Barnett, HD10.com. And I'll be posting a solution. There's 2 things that were provided in the Bill of Rights, 2 instrumentalities that are provided, and I'll leave it to the audience, see if they can guess. 2 things were provided to us that it's our last best hope of civil restoration.
Sure, you've got voting and the grand jury and other jury systems, and then you got the cartridge box. I appreciate your call. And listen, folks, here's the bad news. The criminals that hijacked the government are bipartisan. Obama, of course, is the red leader, driving the whole train, the most virulent form of the cancer. But they intend to have a civil war with American gun owners. And because they're all going to be in Switzerland and Luxembourg and London and Madrid and Paris and Berlin, while the police and the military try to carry this out. It's like 2 guys sitting there and pointing guns at each other and shooting each other in the face for no reason. It is, and if we're dumb enough to go along with this, we deserve it. It's incredible. We legalized abortion in this country. I mean, we deserve it all. We're just idiots. And I don't say that to put us down, folks. We've got to admit how far we've fallen if we've ever going to turn this around. Rich in Atlanta, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Rich, long-time listener, Prison Planet member.
Thank you.
Great product. And let me tell you, we have 3-branch separation of powers. I cannot believe that nothing has been done all this time to have stopped Obama for what he's doing. And I'm just really, really upset about that.
Exactly. We've been saying all along in the last 6 years, no power grab's ever been like this in U.S. history. Hands down, all the constitutional lawyers, Turley on the left, people like Fine on the right. There's no debate. This is the greatest executive power grab ever. It's totally unconstitutional. And where's the Republican leadership? Boehner says he doesn't want to impeach. Holder's criticizing Sarah Palin for calling for impeachment. I get that Republicans are gaining political support by Obama's out-of-control behavior. But there may not be a country left in 2 years. And if you set a precedent to not prosecute crime, what does that make you? It makes you a criminal as well.
Exactly. For that, I think we need to have the Obamacare mascot come back again. Double dumbass.
Hey, we've got that little electronic bunny around here somewhere that you can say stuff to and it repeats it. So I promise you this, if they remind me tomorrow, we will bring back double dumbass tomorrow. If I'm reminded by the crew, it's on you guys, okay? And I want him mic'd up with a microphone and everything. And I will do an interview with an Obama supporter. And whatever you tell the bunny, it repeats back. So I'll say, Obamacare cuts your health costs in half. You can keep your doctor. I pledge to not come after any of your guns. Not your rifle, not your handgun, not your shotgun. I pledge to hire no lobbyists. I pledge to have no signing statements. He broke all records in lobbyists, all records in signing statements, all records in executive orders. I mean, that's the thing about Obama, like Ron Paul said on Friday here. It's the arrogance. There's never been anything like it. Cyberbully in Florida, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, to stay on topic with my comment, I think the dreamers are going to flip out when their dream turns into a nightmare, and when they all get stuck inside America when it collapses.
Oh, I agree. It's just like everybody that goes and gets all these college degrees that 90+% become worthless. All they got was brainwashing for political correctness. Oh, no, these are total victims coming into the country. Absolutely. They're there to be Democratic Party groups and to be fed on by the local Chicano mafia. Go ahead.
And they get away with this because of perception management. And you do a really good job at calling it out with really good satire. I was hoping you could actually bring back that InfoWars Jeopardy, because that was a really good way. And if you could launch that on the nightly news, have callers call in, possibly win like stickers and stuff, you know, you could dominate and take over with just the...
I know. I need writers, because here's the problem. I write everything in my head. You know, like the news is the news, but when I say jokes or whatever, or I do that Jeopardy, that was impromptu. So I need writers. And I need capital to do that. But yes, we need to do more comedy, more satire. That is a winning way to take action. Tell us which president openly wrote in the Harvard Law Review that he shared that he was from Kenya. For $100, who is traitor-in-chief? Beep, who is President Barack Obama? Or is that in the form of the question? I don't even know the game. See, I have to actually study it and test it out. Which major vaccine does the Centers for Disease Control admit made over 100 million Americans contract viral cancer and die? Beep. What is simian virus 40 added to the polio vaccine? Correct. For the Daily Double, there's the globalist. I see a mountain. I chop it down with the edge of my hand. That's what Obama just did to the border. Alex Jones here for Infowars.com. We're going to be intensifying our efforts to awaken free humanity to the scourge of the globalist in the month of July. And starting this July 4th, we are going to slash prices in a celebration of true Americana, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence on all of the Made in America products that you will find at madein1776.com or InfoWarsStore.com. We're talking about Made in America belt buckles in brass and nickeled brass that state it loud and proud. Molon Labe. That's why we have the best-selling Made in America men's and women's Molon Labe Infowars.com shirts. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a win-win. You vote with your dollars. You support the most hardcore organization out there for promoting true ideas of libertarianism, constitutionalism, basic human empowerment. But more importantly, you get T-shirts and belt buckles so you can meet like-minded people. So you have a conversation starter with friends and family and coworkers. We are reaching out to each other. And you also throw it in the face of the anti-gunners and the rest of the parasites out there that you're a free man and woman and that you're not going to be a slave, that you're not going to be intimidated to shut up by their tyranny that they call political correctness. That's why in the month of July, we have got giant specials on everything at madein1776.com. But to expand the InfoWar, we're offering the biggest special in the history, 13 years of PrisonPlanet.tv, our multimedia platform. We're offering the equivalent of more than 5 months free right now when you get a membership at PrisonPlanet.tv, and you get 11 memberships that can be used with the same username and passcode so you can share it with friends and family. Now is the time to fund the war bonds. Now is the time to fund the info war. Now is the time to get aggressive. Now is the time to double down. Now is the time to realize you are the people that made the info war so successful and one of the leading lights worldwide against tyranny. You don't stand behind us, you stand right beside us. And I salute all of you on this July 4th, 2014, and going forward in the month of July and onward. This is about freedom worldwide and that desire for human dignity and self-determination that beats in the human breast. We are brothers and sisters together in the true spirit of liberty and the animating contest of liberty. And so I quote in closing the great Thomas Jefferson that I have sworn on the altar of God resistance against every form of tyranny. And never forget, if you are watching or listening to this transmission, you are the resistance.